Frank, Hamzah Sheeraz, Liam Williams, what did you make of the press conference? It seemed quite respectful.
Well, I think there's a mutual respect there. Liam knows he's in with a real tough, strong, talented up-and-coming young boxer, and Hamzah knows he's in with a veteran who's got good credentials and will be a test for him. And
it feels like, I mentioned it there, it feels like Hamzah is where Liam Williams was.
Exactly.
I mentioned that thing about former Boxer of the Year. Do you see that?
Yeah, it is, and you got that right, mate. You've done your research.
I have a little bit.
Yeah, no, you're right, and look, we've got great expectations of Hamzah, in his last fight out in Record in Poland on the undercard of Daniel Dubois and Usyk. It was a magnificent performance, undefeated fighter. Olympian, done an absolute job on him. I mean, a phenomenal job. So this time round, he's in with somebody in this country that everybody knows in boxing, and in the trade, everyone knows this is going to be a good fight. And I think people outside of being in the trade are going to really enjoy it.
We're just going to move you over a little bit here to just get more in shot. But you are very much in the Hamzah Sheeraz business. You were in the Liam Williams business, but very much the Hamzah Sheeraz man. He's your man, right, that you're guiding to the top of the division. So you've seen Liam Williams there, and do you feel as though it's the right time, or what makes you think it's the right time for Hamzah?
You pick fights. Boxing's about timing. The most perfect punch is about the timing, and the best matches are about timing. Sometimes you get it right. I like to think we get it right more than we get it wrong. We will find out. We will find out. I've got a lot of faith in him. But it's not an easy fight, not by any stretch of the imagination.
No, he talks about the Eubank fight. He says he probably shouldn't have been in the ring in that fight. He had a lot of stuff going on, and I guess fighters say this.
He's got a lot to prove.
Yeah,
he's got a lot to prove. I mean, that's what he's saying. On the night, people are going to be looking to see what that he backs up what he says.
Gavin Gwynn, new Queensberry signing.
Yeah.
I mean, European title fight. It's not bad for his first fight, is it?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, he's, and he deserves it. He's done extremely well, and and we got some, exceptional young talent at that weight. So we've got some good fights we can make if he comes through it there, and I think he will do.
They had a bit of fun out there, Sam Noakes and Gavin Gwynn.
Yeah, Sam's a lovely fella. I mean, Sam and Mark, both tremendous fellas. Really, really good guys. And they're going to have a big fight down the road, there's no doubt about it. But Sam has done everything that's been asked of him, all KOs, and he's got, in some ways, he's Commonwealth champion, but he's gone a little bit under the radar. I mean, his performances have been excellent.
It's like he's waiting for that breakout fight
he's had breakout knockouts. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about that. He can whack, and he's exciting. He's well supported, so I'm looking forward to seeing him in action on the undercard.
All right. Well, look, we didn't grab you yesterday, so just a quick word on the Magnificent 7 show coming up November 18th. You've got another middleweight cracking fight, Nathan Heeney against Denzel Bentley.
Yeah.
How are you seeing this fight? And I guess from the Nathan Heeney perspective, everyone's saying that it's his dream to fight for the British title at Stoke. He's got half of that dream, and Denzel Bentley's here to ruin his dreams, it looks like.
Well, we couldn't go to Stoke. We tried to make the fight, as you know, over the summer, but we couldn't get to Stoke's ground because they had work going on there. And we were talking about they said come back next year, we may be able to do it then. But he wants his dream. He wants his dream fight. Nathan, I promised it to him, and he's desperate for it, so he's got it. It's a tough fight. It's a tough fight for him. He's very well supported. The atmosphere is going to be unbelievable. Denzel's a quality fighter. People underestimate Nathan. When you look at him, everything he's done in the ring, he's looked much better in each fight. So it's going to be very interesting to see, can he step up? Can he step up another level? He really does feel he can. One thing's for sure of him, he's going to, that heart is going to be there, and he's going to make sure he gives everything. But Denzel's a world-class fighter, as he showed in his attempt to win a world title. Very unlucky not to get it. I think he just got his tactics wrong in the first 4 rounds. Otherwise, he'd have had those belts around him, and Nathan would have been fighting for a world title.
Well, look, I mentioned BoxRec rankings up there as well. I do have a look, and you can't always go by them, but currently the number 1 in Britain and actually in the world, according to BoxRec, is Chris Eubank Jr. Would you stick your Denzel Bentley, Nathan Heeney, and of course Hamzah Sheeraz? Would you put them in with Eubank Jr.?
In a heartbeat.
How would they get on?
They'd win. I don't take nothing away from Chris Eubank's fight against Liam. I mean, Liam Smith. I thought Liam Smith was. I was actually quite disappointed, but he looked like an old man. He just looked like an old man, and that was it. I thought he'd do the same things he'd done in the first fight, but he just looked like an old man. But Chris done what he had to do. But there's some good fights. It's a real sexy division at the moment, and there's some great fights to be made.
A couple more before I let you go. Again, that Magnificent Seven show. Nick Ball, Isaac Dogboe. I mean, goodness me. Talk to me about this fight.
Well, it's a final elimination for BC's title. Again, I keep using the expression cracking, but it's a cracking fight. Isaac Dogboe is a former world champion. He's been in some really, really good fights. This is a tough test. It's a big step up for Nick, who's done everything that's asked him. I think he's about 14-0 at the moment. Mm-hmm. Everything he's been asked him, he's done. He's an exciting fighter, and he's a much better fighter than people would give him credit for, or I feel would give him credit for. He's very hard to hit. He's got good defence, and he's very fast. He's got great footwork and his fast hands. So I'm looking forward to this fight. This fight could be the making of him.
It's that one. It's that breakout fight, isn't it?
That's it. That's the one. Yeah.
Ryan Garner against Anthony Cacace. That feels to me like world-class fighter against world-class prospect. Do you think?
That's well summed up. Young Dev, top of the class. It's well summed up. That's a good fight. It is a good fight. Mm-hmm. Look, the card's a great fight. A great fight card. You can look at it and say to yourself, that's a 50-50, that's a 50-50, it might be 60-40, but they're good fights. They all could be top of the bills respectively. And if you're a boxing fan, it doesn't get any better than that. That's a proper fight card, like the one we did many years ago.
Final word on Hamzah Sheeraz. Now, this is another guy who didn't do an awful lot as an amateur, turned pro, quite young, but he's turning into quite the monster at middleweight as well. How has this happened, Frank? How did you find him as well?
Look, I've had a few guys over the years who've not done it. When you say done, you think amateur, not won Olympics. Joe Kawasaki didn't go to the Olympic Games. Naz didn't go to Olympic Games. Ricky Hatton didn't. They won. They were very good amateurs, but didn't win anything at top level. Look at Anthony Yard. He only had 12 fights. There is lots of good talent out there, and what they need a platform and somebody to get behind them. And I really enjoy doing that with guys who people have not heard of, because it's a bit of a challenge for us as well to guide them and develop in the right way. And it pays off. It's paid off time and time again. And I really, as I say, I've got a lot of time for Hamzah. He's a consummate professional. Team around him done a really good job. He's gone off and trains, goes into camp in America, spends a lot of money on his own money on training and preparing for fights. And that will come back in spades for him if and when he wins a world title, because all what he's put into it up to as yet has shown in all these fights, the desire, the skills that he's got, the power that he's got, and the way he conducts himself. He's just a really nice guy. He's a great advert for British boxing.
And how's his fight with Liam Williams going to go?
It depends how Liam fights on the night, and it depends if Hamzah can control the fight. We will see. Listen, Liam can whack. He's had more knockouts than Hamzah's had fights.